Good evening. Welcome to South Asia Newsline. I'm Lepakshi Khurana. Here are the top stories we're tracking for you on Tuesday, the 18th of October. Indian Prime Minister Modi calls to defeat terrorism worldwide at Interpol General Assembly. Imran Khan warns Pakistan government, says long march won't be delayed past October. A Nepal poll body says candidature to be cancelled if mass rallies organised before November 3rd. And now for all the details. Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Tuesday addressed the 90th Interpol General Assembly in New Delhi and called for cooperation in defeating crime, corruption and terrorism worldwide. The four-day event is being held in India after a gap of 25 years.
Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Tuesday inaugurated the 98th General Assembly of Interpol, the International Criminal Police Organization, in New Delhi and called for cooperation in defeating crime, corruption and terrorism worldwide. The four-day event is being attended by delegations from 195 member countries, comprising ministers, police chiefs of countries, heads of national central bureaus and senior police officers. PM Modi also released commemorative postal stamps and rupees 100 coins to mark the occasion. The Prime Minister in his address said, "When nations and societies are becoming inward-looking, India calls for greater world cooperation for local welfare." He said from climate targets to vaccines, India has taken the lead in any kind of crisis.
From climate targets to COVID vaccines, India has shown willingness to take the lead in any kind of crisis. And now, at a time when nations and societies are becoming inward-looking, India calls for more, not less, international cooperation. Global cooperation for local welfare is our call.
The General Assembly is Interpol's supreme governing body and meets once a year to take key decisions related to its functioning. The meeting is taking place in India after a gap of about 25 years.
And days after a Kashmiri Pandit was shot dead by terrorists, two migrant labourers were killed in a grenade attack in Shopian district of India's northern Jammu and Kashmir on Tuesday. More than 24 people, mainly members of the region's minority Hindu community and non-locals, have lost their lives in targeted killings by terrorists this year.
Two migrant labourers were killed as terrorists lobbed grenade at them in Shopian district of India's northern Jammu and Kashmir in the early hours of Tuesday, 2 days after a Kashmiri Pandit was shot dead by terrorists in the same district. They were moved to a hospital after being critically injured but later succumbed to their injuries. The deceased were identified as Manish Kumar and Ram Sagar, both residents of northern Uttar Pradesh state. Police said that a terrorist of proscribed Pakistan-based terror outfit Lashkar-e-Taiba, Imran Bashir Ghani from Shopian had been arrested, adding that further investigation and raids are going on.
ग्रेनेड थ्रो किया गया जिसमें उत्तर प्रदेश के दो मजदूर थे मारे गए और उसमें से जो थ्रो किया ग्रेनेड किया है हैवी टेररिस्ट है और उसको हम लोग रात में ही पकड़ लिए और बहुत सारे ऐसा एविडेंस मिला है जिससे प्रूव होता है कि उसने ग्रेनेड थ्रो किया है, उन्होंने कन्फेस भी कर लिया है. बाकी उसके साथ जो भी और लड़के साथ चलते हैं उसको भी अरेस्ट किया गया है और हम लोग कॉर्डन सर्च जो हाईरोड बता रहे हैं वहाँ सर्च कर रहे हैं.
Meanwhile, Hindu government employees and members of socio-political organizations held protests in Jammu city over the spate in targeted killings by Pakistan-based terror outfits in the region. They demanded enhanced security, relocation and strict action against the culprits.
और दिन प्रतिदिन मतलब कि कश्मीर के हालात बदतर होते जा रहे हैं. वहाँ सूरत हालात ठीक नहीं है. उस वजह से हम वहाँ पे कैसे नौकरी कर सकते हैं जब सिविल किलिंग हो रही है, टारगेट किलिंग हो रही है, मुलाजिमों की हो रही है, ना लोकल्स की हो रही है.
Over 24 people, mainly members of the region's minority Hindu community and non-locals, have lost their lives in targeted killings by terrorists this year. India has long blamed terrorists are aided by Pakistan to spread unrest in the Kashmir Valley.
In news from Pakistan, Pakistan's opposition PTI party chairman Imran Khan on Monday said that his anti-government long march would not be delayed past October as the party has completed its preparations. He said he is, however, giving the ruling government some more time to announce early elections before embarking on his protest.
Pakistan's former Prime Minister and opposition PTI party chief Imran Khan on Monday warned Shehbaz Sharif-led government that the anti-government Azadi or Freedom March would not be delayed past October as they have completed their preparations. In a press conference, Khan said he was still cutting the ruling government some slack so that they announce the date for the next general election. He said he is actually giving them some more time before embarking on his long march protest. He warned the government that multitudes of people would take to the streets responding to his call to the nation for the anti-government march.
तो क्योंकि इलेक्शन से डरे हुए हैं, ये मुल्क को तबाही की तरफ धकेलते जाएंगे, इलेक्शन नहीं करवाएंगे. इसलिए इस वक्त मैं इनको आज फिर वक्त दे रहा हूँ. ये मेरी मार्च अक्टूबर से आगे नहीं जाने लगी. ये अब से लेके अक्टूबर में किसी टाइम अनाउंस करूंगा.
Reacting to PTI Chairman Imran Khan's demand of holding early elections, the ruling coalition parties on Monday rejected the idea and said that deciding when the polls will take place is only the government's prerogative. In a joint statement, the coalition parties said that the government will not allow any mob to impose a decision related to the elections on the basis of force, adding that those who take the law into their hands will be dealt with according to the constitution and the law.
And moving on, locals in Gilgit Baltistan have lamented the dilapidated roads and lack of other basic infrastructure that is affecting the tourism sector in the illegally occupied region. They blamed the Pakistan government has left all sections of the society at their own mercy over the years with no development in sight.
Gilgit Baltistan is home to diverse flora and fauna and features stunning valley and crystal blue lakes. But the locals have blamed the government has failed to repair dilapidated roads and developed infrastructure to attract tourists over the years. They said the recent torrential rains added to their woes as already poor roads were blocked due to flooding and landslides, while the authorities did nothing to ease the connectivity, keeping the tourists away.
यहाँ पर इस कॉमन साइड में अटर जो नाला है वहाँ पर भी ऐसे खूबसूरत लैंडस्केप्स है कि वहाँ देखने की जगह है, लेकिन वहाँ रोड्स ना होने की वजह से मौसलाती निज़ाम यहाँ पर नहीं होने की वजह से लोगों को वहाँ एक्सेस नहीं है. और दूसरी बात ये है कि बात वहीं पे आकर रुक जाती है कि महकमा टूरिज़्म को इनको प्रमोट करने की ज़रूरत है.
कि इस साल बारिशों की वजह से जो है ना जो वो टूरिस्ट जो आ सकते थे उनकी जो है ना यहाँ पर प्रोग्राम्स काफ़ी कैंसलेशन हो गई, वो नहीं आ सके. और दूसरा चित्राल साइड से आते थे, उस साइड पे भी टूरिस्ट का जो है ना आना नामुमकिन हुआ, वो रोड भी ब्लॉक हुआ और यहाँ पर कैजुअलिटीज़ हो गई इस तरह जो है ना मौसम की वजह से, और यहाँ पर टूरिस्ट नहीं आ सके.
Locals blame Pakistan's illegal occupation has pushed Gilgit Baltistan into the most neglected, backward and impoverished region in South Asia. Pakistan's indifference to the region is also reflected in the fact that it is largely treated as a colony and does not have a place in any government framework.
Well, Nepal's Election Commission has warned that if candidates hold mass poll rallies before 3rd November, their candidatures will be cancelled. The Himalayan nation is slated to hold a general election for the National Parliament and 7 state assemblies on November 20th.
Nepal's Election Commissioner Ramprasad Bhandari has warned political parties and candidates that their candidature could be cancelled if they campaigned before November 3 or 17 days before the November 20 general elections. Bhandari said parties and candidates can only run door-to-door programs before November 3 and nothing else. As per the Election Code of Conduct, and even during such campaigns, candidates can only have more than 25 people accompanying them or use musical bands. The statement came in the backdrop of the ruling alliance's recent decision to hold election rallies in all 7 provinces before November 3. Led by the centrist Nepali Congress Party and a group of former Maoist rebels, the 5-party alliance, which has been in government since July last year, hopes to win voters' confidence in the general election for the 275-member parliament. Nepal, one of the poorest countries in Asia wedged between China and India, is recovering steadily after 2 years of the coronavirus pandemic and surging energy prices this year. The recent economic woes and political stability are expected to be a priority for voters in the election for the national parliament and 7 state assemblies of the Himalayan nation.
Sri Lankan author Shehan Karunatilaka won the Booker Prize on Monday for his second novel, The 7 Moons of Maali, Almeida, set amid the mayhem of the Sri Lankan civil war. In his acceptance speech, the author said he wishes his novel is read in a Sri Lanka that has understood that the ideas of corruption, race baiting and cronyism have not worked and will never work.
Sri Lankan writer Shehan Karunatilaka won the Booker Prize on Monday for his second novel, The 7 Moons of Maali, Almeida, about a dead war photographer on a mission in the afterlife. Karunatilaka received a trophy from Queen Consort Camilla at the English Language Literary Awards' first in-person ceremony since 2019. He also gets a £50,000 prize. Set in 1990 Sri Lanka during the country's civil war, Karunatilaka's story follows gay war photographer and gambler Maali Almeida, who wakes up dead. Time is of essence for Maali, who has 7 moons to reach out to loved ones and guide them to hidden photos he has taken depicting the brutality of his country's conflict.
My hope for 7 moons is this, that in the not too distant future, 10 years or as long as it takes, that it is read in a Sri Lanka that has understood that these ideas of corruption and race baiting and cronyism have not worked and will never work.
This year's shortlist of Booker Prize contenders included British author Alan Garner's Triacle Walker, Zimbabwean author No Violet Bulawayo's Glory, Small Things Like These by Irish writer Claire Keegan, US author Percival Everett's The Trees, and O. William by US author Elizabeth Strout.
Indian devotees and foreigners thronged temples in India's Mathura to celebrate the beginning of the Hindu holy month of Kartik and offered prayers to Lord Krishna on Monday. Kartik is the 8th lunar month as per the Hindu calendar and is considered the holiest and most auspicious.
Locals and foreigners in India's northern Mathura city were brimming with festive spirit as they celebrated the beginning of the Hindu holy month of Kartik and danced to the beat of religious hymns on Monday. They offered prayers and candles to the idol of Lord Krishna, the 8th incarnation of Lord Vishnu, the Hindu god of protection. Devotees from all across the world, including Russia, China and the US, were clad in traditional attires as they donned sandalwood holy marks known as tilak while chanting Hare Krishna.
This month we can to feel more Krishna, more blessing of Krishna, more blessing of Srila Prabhupada.
इसी महीना स्पेशल चल रहा है कार्तिक का मंथ है। इसी मंथ को दामोदर मास भी कहा जाता है और कार्तिक महीने में विशेष करके दीपदान का व्यवस्था किया जाता है, जो कि एक दीपदान करने से लाखों माने पूरे साल का दीपदान का फल मिलता है।
Kartik is the 8th lunar month as per the Hindu calendar and is considered the holiest. People worship incarnations of Lord Vishnu with great devotion during this month. The spirit is considered auspicious for both spiritual and other worldly activities.
Well, that's all we have for you from South Asia this evening. Now our viewers can watch the show on SouthAsiaNewsline.com. You can also visit us on Facebook.com/SAsiaNewsline and follow us on Twitter @SAsiaNewsline. That's all in tonight's edition. We'll see you same time tomorrow. Good night.